Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing a review of an action film from South Korea, Korean language English subs, released in the year 2013, directed by Sang-Wan-Roo, and this movie is called The Berlin File. So the story of The Berlin File, you've got a North Korean agent who is going to a secret arms dealing meeting, and he is going to try and uncover some truths behind this Russian arms dealing. So something goes wrong and the plan backfires, and now this North Korean agent has been betrayed by his own nation. So it now looks like all the fault with this special mission has been put on him, and now he's on the run. So the North Korean agency, they don't want anything to do with this guy. They are denying all knowledge of him, and they want to catch him. So he has been betrayed. He's felt very hurt, and he is on the run, and he has to at the same time try and uncover who was involved in the betrayal and try and clear his name. But that's going to be a lot harder than expected because there are so many people after him now. So what happens at that point on is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on The Berlin File. The biggest question you have to ask yourself after watching this film is, do I need to watch The Berlin File? And unfortunately the answer is probably no. Now it is not a bad movie, don't get me wrong. I thought the choreography of the action sequences was really well done. The setting of Berlin was pretty cool, seeing a South Korean film take place in a foreign land. I thought that the acting from the main guy, who was also in The Yellow Sea, Terror Alive and The Chaser, I like that guy as an actor. I thought he portrayed a very good character, although the character is very mysterious, so you don't know too much about him, so it's not an overly complex character, so you don't really like him. But then it's an action film, so you don't really have to like someone to really enjoy an action film. It's all about the sequences and how it's shot, and there's a little bit of shaky cam in there, but overall I thought as an action movie on a technical level it was well done. The acting was very good, the cinematography was very South Korean, very vibrant colouring, and for the most part the action was done very well. And then you've got the story, which was fairly interesting for the most part, but unfortunately in the story it does tend to drag a little bit, and the action kind of overshadows the story. So the problem with that is that when there's no action on the screen, yes, it is interesting to start with, but the reason why you start to lose interest is because you've seen this story recycled over and over and over. And the biggest comparison I can make with this movie is the Bourne Identity franchise. This is basically an Asian version of the Bourne Identity, and that's the reason why I said you could probably pass up the opportunity to watch it, because it doesn't really prove enough of a variety to separate itself from those kinds of films. So if you like the Bourne Identity, you watch this movie, you get a lot of similarities. The guy being betrayed, he's trying to uncover who it is, he's on the run, there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat, there's a lot of car chases, shootouts, all that kind of thing. But unfortunately for me, the Bourne Identity was just a lot more interesting. And this movie, the double crossing, it appears to be an interesting story, but unfortunately it does run out of gas quite early, and then the action starts to take over and it starts to get a little bit tedious towards the end. And I just thought to myself, as far as South Korean cinema is concerned, this is definitely one of the more forgettable experiences. I was hoping to love this movie. There were ingredients to really make this a great film, but unfortunately it just doesn't really shine on its own. It doesn't make a shadow of its own. It just stays in the confines of films that you have seen over and over and over. So it doesn't prove anything new, therefore it does get a little bit boring as far as I can see. Now, action sequences can only take you so far, and you have to have a really good story to back that up. And I love the idea of the Bourne Identity, where he lost his memory, he's wondering why these people are after him, and that makes you wonder why they're after him. But in this movie, you're wondering why he's been double-crossed, but the characters just aren't that strong enough to really gain a connection. And so, as I said, it's a very empty feeling, and all you're actually watching the movie for is the action sequences, and there's not enough action to really keep you gripped for the full duration. Now when it's actually on the screen, the action sequences, it's very good, but then it has a little break and then you just don't care enough about it. And you're scratching your head thinking that, yeah, okay, it's not a terrible film. This is a hard film to review because it might seem like I hated it, but I just didn't see enough quality in there to suggest that it is a movie worth seeing if you've seen other films similar to it. So that's my biggest problem with The Berlin File. On a technical level, very, very well done. I just thought the story does lose a little bit of steam. You don't really care why this guy is being betrayed because he is a cardboard cutout, and in the end what you get is a movie that you probably forget in a few days' time. So I would say go and watch it at least once, but you're not really going to get too much out of it. And as I said, the question is, do you need to see this movie? No, you don't need to see it, but see it if you want. So overall, for The Berlin File, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. Not a bad movie, as I said, but not enough creativity to make it one worth mentioning. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you there.